I'm back. This time in bed. It's pretty late, so I was like, why not just do a live reaction? From my bed, we're going to react, hopefully, together to episode 6-1. Season 6, we're finally there, guys. It was not one of my favorite seasons, but it has a special episode. I wish they devoted the whole episode to it, though. Popcorn, skinny pop, if I get hungry. Jay said, your forehead is so big, birds think it's a landing strip. Well, I'm glad my forehead will be useful for something, Jay. You know, I don't mind. God gave me a big forehead. I like it. And here you brought my attention to a way I can use my forehead. I never thought of that before. So thank you, Jay. Okay, let's start. Episode 1, Season 6. Ta-da! Let's see. YouTube said for me to ask you guys, what's a movie? Oh, it disappeared. What's a movie or a TV show that you guys would watch forever? It doesn't matter. You could watch the episodes over and over again. That's a good question. Walking Dead, Noor. Have you seen The Ones Who Live yet, Noor? Because for me, I think The Ones Who Live, I like it. I like The Walking Dead because it gave us my favorite couple, of course. But The Walking Dead did not do Rick and Michonne justice. I'm sorry, but The Ones Who Live did. And that's because Danai and Andrew were in charge. They gave us what we wanted to see all along and what they wanted all along. And The Walking Dead was really stingy with them. You saw every spin-off, and The Ones Who Live, I watched it every single... Really, Nor? Wow. Oh, I wish I could watch it every day. It's so good. It's the best. I can't wait till we do a reaction of it. Oh my gosh. So you know the dialogue by heart now, Nor. Nor. Have you heard? I saw on Twitter. So I don't know because I am not on the inside. I just see these tweets from some Michonne fans. And a few of them went to London to watch Andrew Lincoln's play. But one of them came back and it seems she was hinting that Andrew may have told her. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I'm not saying this is what she said or this is what happens. According to this tweet, the Michonne fan hinted that Andy told her something that made her very happy, and it seems that she's hinting that there's more to come. And another Michonne fan went to see Andy's play. She's from France, I think, and she posted a picture of Scott Gimple visiting Andy. I guess he went to support him to watch the play, but they were hanging out afterwards. Scott Gimple was part of the trio that wrote and produced The Ones Who Live. I don't know. What do you think? Yes, I did see that they're in talks about continuing. I don't know if it's to The Walking Dead or if it's to continue The Ones Who Live, because The Walking Dead is over and Andrew does not want to continue The Walking Dead because that would require too much of a commitment. I don't think they would do a 6-episode season again, and the sets are broken down for that. Alexandria is gone, all of that. So I don't think it would be for The Walking Dead. I think it would be to continue The Ones Who Live. And as he has said many times, he said the only thing that would bring him back is if it was something written by Scott Gimple and Danai. So Danai's not going to be writing Walking Dead. If she's writing something in that universe, it would be for The Ones Who Live. And remember, at the end of season 1 for The Ones Who Live, she and Andy were speaking to the background actors, and she was telling them that she'll see them again. And those were actors playing zombie CRM soldiers. So I don't know. If anything, it would be to continue season 2 of The Ones Who Live, which is preferable to me. So it's possible Daryl and Rick reuniting, but aren't they currently filming that season? When do they start filming season 4? No, they won't do season 12 of The Walking Dead, nor. That's done. Yeah, Andy said he's not coming back to The Walking Dead. It requires too much of a commitment. You haven't watched it? You should check it out. It involves zombies, but it's not about zombies. It's about the end of the world, the apocalypse, and how we human beings, how would we behave when the most important thing to us is survival? How would we behave when civilization as we know it ends? And what caused the end of the world, whether it's, a virus, zombies, whatever, would that be the worst threats we face, or would we human beings be the real threats to each other? It's fascinating. It's about the human condition and how we behave when society breaks down. Who do we become when there's no laws and nothing to hold back our instincts, and survival is the name of the game? Who would you be? What would you do? Could you behave with integrity versus become the worst version of yourself? Because you could get away with so much. There's no law. It's very fascinating. I think you should watch it. You would love it. Fear the Walking Dead started out good. I wanted a show that really explored the beginning of the apocalypse, the breakdown of society, Mr. Carson. But Fear the Walking Dead started that way, and then it just veered off, and that made me lose interest because I really, really wanted to see the breakdown of society, and they didn't take it where I thought they would. Next September 2026, I think Daryl Dixon's season. No, it films next September, or it's released next September, because I think for some reason they finished filming season 4. So it's the last season, and this was before Gimple visited Andy. So I don't know. I'll try to find out, because for some reason I thought season 4 just finished filming like a couple weeks ago, or a week ago. Good thing you didn't watch Dead City. They did Glenn's son dirty. We all hated him so much. That kid is so evil and ungrateful. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Oh yeah. No, I would never watch Dead City. I have no interest in Negan, and have no interest in seeing Maggie continue to hang around Negan. That makes no sense. Destroying another character to prop up Negan. Isn't that the way? We lost Carl because of Negan, because the producers wanted Negan around, not Carl. And then they sacrificed so many characters to prop up Negan. Even Rick was sacrificed to prop up Negan, and the show was sacrificed to prop up Negan. So I would never watch Dead City. I just have no interest in that character. He destroyed the show, and they refused to let that sleeping dog lie. So every time I look on the camera, I remember what the person says. You have a big forehead. It's true. It's funny. Anyway, let's get to Walking Dead. Let's start episode 1. Rick just killed Pete.
Rick? I know this sounds insane. This is an insane world. We have to come for them, or they come for us. It's that simple. This is where it all starts tomorrow. Tobin gets in the truck, opens the exit, and we're off. He hops out, catches up with his team of Red, staying on the west side of the road. Daryl gets on his bike. You see that?
Nor, what are they doing? They're looking at a pit of walkers, but what are they trying to do?
I'm here. Everything I say. I will, Rick. This was supposed to be a dry run. You're ready.
That's a lot of walkers. That's so many. But I don't recall why would they think they're headed to Alexandria? Is the pit close to Alexandria? I haven't watched season 6 in forever, so I don't remember. I remember some things, but I don't remember how this whole situation started with the walkers and why they were headed to Alexandria. And the truck fell. He said the truck fell and it opened up the pit. Logistically, none of it is making sense to me. It's close to Alexandria. I guess they're just introducing it and they're going to explain everything because I don't remember how it all came about. Deanna said Gabriel was wrong. Whose body does Abraham just brought out? Is that Deanna's husband or Pete? Or Deanna's husband? Who is that?
What?
Oh.
You guys look like shit. Tara? I'm okay. You should check on them.
I don't remember any of this. Man, it's been a long time. They started the season. Ron just saw Enid put her hand on Carl's hand, so he's jealous. Oh, remember I said that they could have done the Jesse story with Carol instead of involving Rick because they needed the audience to care about that whole family. And I said Carol, her story tied in with the family and her being there when the family goes down, and for her to witness Sam going down after what she said to Sam would have been more effective. I remember saying that, and I said, but what would cause the kid to want to harm Carl? And there we have it. Enid choosing Carl over him. I think he saw Enid as his girlfriend. So the kid wanted to get rid of Carl. So there it is. Because I was like, now what would cause the kid to want to... I think he went after Rick, but instead of going after Rick, we could have him go after directly to Carl and Carl get injured. So my statement about the story would have been better for Jesse and Carol versus Jesse and Rick, because the Jesse and Rick was not a real romance. It wasn't even a romance. So it was just a waste of time, and it actually did a disservice to Rick and Michonne's story because they sort of set Michonne aside so that they could play out this weird story of Rick using Jesse as his avatar to try to resolve his guilt over not protecting Lori. And the thing about it is they still could have had the story of Rick letting go, Rick coming to a point to let go of his ghost and move forward, because the impetus of Rick finally letting go of trying to live his past and do over his past through trying to protect Lori, to prove to Shane that he could protect his family. The impetus for Rick letting go was Carl being injured. Carl almost died. So that could have still happened. And Rick choosing to let go and stop living in the past and live in the present and fight for a future still would have happened. So that, the writers are so annoying because that was so not necessary. Yeah, he was, teenagers. He was like very emo. With teenagers, everything is blown out of proportion. Everything is bigger. It's an existential crisis. Any little pain or angst is blown out of proportion. It's bigger than life for a teenager. So hormones raging and they just get very emotional and everything is at 100. There's nothing at a 1 or a 2, nothing in the middle, just 0 to 100. Let's see now. Oh, this is Morgan.
You were right. It wasn't over.
What's not over?
We should talk more tomorrow.
Look at Rick's face.
I don't take chances anymore. And you shouldn't.
You see what he says? I don't take chances anymore. That's all about his ghost. That's all about Lori. That's all about Shane telling him that he should not take any chances with anything, or he will not be able to protect Lori and Carl. And him not wiping out that guy at the prison, and that guy coming back, and the domino effects, and Lori dying. So he's like, I'm not taking any chances anymore. And Pete, he saw Pete as a threat, so he wanted Pete eliminated. So he's explaining to Morgan why he did what he did, and we know why he did what he did, but it's all about Rick reliving and redoing his past. It's all about his ghosts. So here we have the first statement from Rick, aside from the intro with the Horde. The first statement being about exactly what the story arc is about. I don't take chances anymore. He's focused on trying not to make the same mistakes. He's focused on relitigating, redoing his past. It was similar to Morgan, when Morgan didn't take care of what he had to take care of, and he's like, I have to get rid of the walkers. I have to clear out the walkers. He did not get rid of his wife, and he lost his son, and he stayed in that mental state, and it stunted him. It caused him to be trapped in that scenario. So he was just there doing it over and over, clearing, getting rid of the walker threat over and over, and it didn't bring his son back. That mistake, trying to relive and redo it just kept him in a mental quandary. He became stunted. He couldn't move forward. He couldn't live. He couldn't have relationships. See, Rick came, and he couldn't have a relationship with Rick because he's stunted. He's in that space. I have to keep doing that scenario over and over. But living in the past and redoing that scenario is not going to bring the dead back, and it's not going to change the past. All it does is prevent you from living in the now and having a life and a relationship. Interestingly enough, Morgan finally, I don't know if he let go, but he finally sort of stopped circling the drain. So he was able to move out of that area and move forward, move away from it a little. But I don't know if he moved away from it fully mentally. But it's ironic now that he's face to face with Rick that's actually going through the same thing. But instead of trying to clear, relive, and to get rid of the walkers so that the walkers can't go and harm the living, Rick is trying to get rid of the living to save the dead. He's trying to get rid of the living to save the dead. So Morgan was trying to get rid of the dead to save the living and trying to redo that scenario over and over. And then Rick is trying to get rid of the living to bring back the dead. And he's just trapped in that cycle, and he can't move forward. He can't live, just like Morgan couldn't live. Morgan couldn't have a relationship with Rick. Rick cannot have a relationship. He cannot move forward, a true relationship where he's let go of his ghost, because he's trying to redo the past. He found a scenario with Jesse. He found an avatar, a Lori light, a Lori type, and there was a threat to Lori type, and so he got rid of that threat. So he too now circling that drain. He's trying to redo his past just like Morgan, and he's stuck. Nor said yes, he was trapped in the past. He was trying so hard to not make the same mistake again, just like Morgan and Claire. Exactly. So it's ironic. Face to face with Morgan, Rick now is the one trapped in his past and trying to redo his past. And Morgan is shocked at Rick's mental state, just like Rick was shocked but understood. Rick was shocked but understood Morgan's mental state, and Morgan is shocked at Rick's mental state, but I don't know if Morgan understood, because there's something Morgan is gonna say to Rick. I don't know which episode, but I remember clearly he said something to Rick that I was like, I totally disagreed with Morgan because Morgan still couldn't see past his past in the statement he made to Rick. And I was like, Rick, at that time that Morgan says whatever statement he says to Rick, Rick has finally let go. When I get to that point, I will make a note of it because Morgan at that point didn't truly understand the place that Rick was. Let's continue. There's blood on Abraham's face. Why is there blood on Abraham's face, Nor? Did the blood from Deanna's husband splatter on him? Oh, it's blood from Pete? Oh, okay. He's drunk. Uh-oh. He sees Sasha. Sasha's like, oh, she answered him back. Because usually Sasha just like, dude, leave me alone. But she was like, what? And then she gave him back the peace sign.
You all have your assignments. You know where to rendezvous. Daryl leads them out. Sasha and Abraham join him at the bottom of the hill.
Do you see that guy, that bald guy?
When you take care of the walkers at the trip.
That bald guy that's an Alexandrian. Do you know that's Sasha's husband in real life? Oh, he was? I didn't know that. I didn't remember that, nor that Abraham was holding Pete down when Rick shot him. I didn't. Okay, you know, yeah. Sasha's husband. Shaniqua's.
Place. That's the one thing we gotta get ahead of. Everybody, pure heads. Just keep up.
Rick, Morgan, and Michonne. Yeah, he wasn't a main character, that's why, Nor. Nor said that
Pretty much his idea.
Sasha's husband didn't speak much. So, yeah, he wasn't a main character, so he didn't get a lot of lines.
Bed in the bath. It's still a cage, you know. He gets it. He told me what happened out there with the trucks. Those guys he met. W's? Like that walker we saw, yeah. We need more watch points. I'm gonna tell Deanna we don't need to go looking for people anymore.
You heard what Rick said? He said he's going to tell Deanna we don't need to go and look for people anymore. Daryl didn't like that because Rick is saying, you feel different about that. See, Rick wants to isolate, just, you know, he feels so paranoid. Let's see what Daryl says. Daryl does feel, he said, yeah, he feels different.
Dude, people out there, they gotta take care of themselves, just like us. I'm gonna get them out. Shouldn't leave them in there any longer than we have to.
Who is Rick talking about? Nora, I missed that. He said he's going to get him out. We shouldn't leave him in there longer than we have to. Get who out? What did I miss? Sasha and Abraham again. Paired up.
Yeah, I'm trying.
You're still looking to go buck wild with the breath impaired.
You already asked the question and I already answered it. If you were so worried, why the hell did you get into the car with me? Listen, doing something as big as this, that's living. There it is. We're at Red, at the bottom of the hill.
Rick feels he already have enough problems with the people in Alexandria. He don't need more. Yeah, but who was Rick talking about that he's in a room or something? I don't know what. He's talking about Morgan. Oh, okay. He put Morgan in but the cell wasn't built yet. I'm missing something. I don't know. Okay, I'll continue, Nor.
Right.
Rick is just standing there staring at Morgan.
Before or after? I ask, you answer. It's common courtesy, right?
It's after everything. Sorry for this, for having to do this.
It's all right.
Oh.
The way I look at it, sometimes you're safer when there's no way out. Gotta get to know each other again.
So Rick didn't trust Morgan, nor it's not a cell, it's just a room. He locked him there because the last time he saw him, he tried to kill him. So he needs to make sure he's not a threat. Okay. Yeah, I just got it now. I don't like how they're doing the episode. They're like jumping backwards and forwards. They're not telling the story in a linear line, which I don't mind, but they're jumping too much with too many different stories. There are too many splintered stories, too many characters to do it this way. I don't like it. They're trying to get sophisticated in the editing and the storytelling, but sometimes just plain and simple and to the point. Simple is sometimes the best and the most excellent way. So I get it now, Nor. Yeah, I see that. It's also when he said he doesn't take chances anymore, it didn't just mean about getting rid of Pete. It was also in reference to Morgan.
Hey, it's us. We're back. You gonna let us in or what? I'm
technically not authorized, so I will not be doing so.
Who the hell are you?
You first.
I'm Heath. I live here. My team's been on a run the last couple weeks.
Oh,
Eugene.
so this is how Heath was introduced. He was on a run and he just came back. I liked Heath. He left because he got a movie, but his movie career, it didn't take off. He's still doing well. He's still getting good roles, but after I think Straight Out of Compton, everyone thought his career was going to be huge. He left The Walking Dead, never looked back. But who knows what they would have done with his character. But I liked Heath. So this was how he was introduced. Because I remember him at some point in Alexandria. But then while we were watching season 5, I didn't see him. Season 6, episode 1 was where he came in. He was on a run and he just returned. And he was like to Eugene, who are you? Yeah, Heath just disappeared. Heath went. What was the thing that they found where he disappeared? Was it PIP, Pip, or something like that? I think Pip means Hollywood. Heath went to Hollywood and never came back.
My group here directly within that window, so we haven't had the chance to meet, and I can't exactly confirm your residence.
Open the gate.
If I do, how do I know you won't attempt to kill me?
Look, I'm not gonna kill you, but the longer you make me wait, the more you motivate me to beat your ass, so. Thank you.
The wigs on this show are atrocious. I hate the wig that they give to Michonne, and I hate the wig that they give to Heath.
So Deanna put you on gate duty.
And can I tell you something, Nor? When I heard about The Ones Who Live and that Denai and Andy were in charge, I was hoping they would get a new stylist, hairdresser, not clothes, but hairdresser for Michonne, because there is no reason why her wig should look so atrocious. I thought that she would get one of the best hairstylists and not bring that hairstylist from The Walking Dead to The Ones Who Live, because if you watch Wakanda Forever, Black Panther 2, Lupita's dreads were chef kisses. They looked so good. Her wig was so good, and I was like, oh, then I would see that and see that, oh my gosh, these wigs can look 100 times better. So can you imagine my horror when they brought the same guy from The Walking Dead to do her wigs in The Ones Who Live? I was like, no! I was like, why did Denai bring him over? It's a guy. It's a guy, and I don't think he's a good hairdresser. I'm sorry. I just don't. He made, oh my gosh, the wig, the dreads that he does on Michonne, that wig, it looks so horrific. Yes, I heard that they're expensive, but it's not good. And there are so many talented hairdressers that could make wonderful, gorgeous wigs that would look good, just like they did Lupita's in Black Panther. And I was just like, why did they bring the same guy to The Ones Who Live? That was a bad call, leaving The Walking Dead for a movie no one watched. Too bad for him. No. Oh, no, Nor. That I disagree with you. His movie was a huge hit. That's why I thought he was going to be a big star. And after that movie, Straight Out of Compton, it was such a huge hit. They started doing a lot of biographies because of that movie. He did so well. He started getting lead roles in other movies. It's just that those movies that he did after Straight Out of Compton weren't huge. They didn't do as well as the movie he left The Walking Dead to do. So yeah, I thought he was gonna be a bigger star because of how well that movie did. But that's Hollywood for you. Sometimes the movie does well, sometimes they don't. Because look, the past few movies that came out recently were box office duds. It doesn't matter who was starring in it. Because people are just not into watching movies anymore unless they're big event movies. Well, not that they're not into watching, but they're not into going to the theaters anymore. Yeah, well, she had braids in Rick's Dream, and those were braids Denai did for, I think it was her birthday, and she didn't feel like taking them out, so she did the scene, which was their first scene, the first scene of filming. No, was it the first scene? The first scene they did together, because the first scene of filming, I think Andy said, was the scene where Rick was trying to escape. He said it was very cold. So those scenes were his first scenes, but the scene with Rick and Michonne, their first scenes together was that scene she did in the braids, and it's just because she didn't feel like taking them out. And I don't think that guy did her braids. Oh my gosh, I wish they would get a new hairstylist. That was one of the complaints of most of Michonne fans, that the wig that guy did for her hair is horrific. Yes, because she didn't have that awful wig on. Of course, she was glowing. Oh my gosh, I wish they would just get a better hairstylist for Michonne. Someone that would do the dreads more realistically. It's they just that anyway, I'm gonna stop complaining about that. Can't change the past, but if they're doing season 2, she's home, and I would hope that she would be able to retwist her hair, and so they could change it up. They would have a good excuse for getting new hair and new stylist, someone that really knows how to do hair, because that dude wasn't cutting it for all those years and didn't improve in the ones who lived. Yeah, terrible lighting. Yeah, terrible.
I'm not proper duty. This is Holly's shift. I was just walking by. She asked if I could relieve her for a few ticks. I said no thank you, and she ignored me, which is obviously what I should have done, as it's been at least 5 ticks and still no Holly. I'm Scott. This is Annie.
Hi, good to meet you. How many of you are there?
13.
Oh, so Scott came with heat. I don't remember Annie. See? Look, Scott. That's his name, Nor. Was husband. So that's Scott, Heath, and Annie. I don't remember her. So Scott was introduced with Heath.
I'll close up. We had a meeting last night.
Oh, yeah? About what?
You might want to talk to Deanna. Get it from the horse mouth, you know?
Eugene is so weird.
Right.
Heath is like, who
Hey,
is
it's good
this?
to see someone like me. Fully respect the hair game.
Heath is like, oh my gosh, who is this?
Put up the wall.
They did. There was a man. Reg drew up plans, made it happen early on. A lot of people in here. They've been inside from the start. They had food, energy, not a whole lot of walkers. They just lived. They haven't had to survive. They figured that out, brought us in. Still might be too late.
Too late how?
For them to come around. We'll see. You'll have to talk to Deanna. She's the woman in charge. She was married to Reg.
Was?
What are you doing?
I wanted to help.
We only need one.
We have two men here.
We're not gonna bury killers inside these walls.
I understand how you feel. I do. It's not your decision.
Toby, Rick's right. Take it away. Go west, down Branton Road a few miles. Just past the bridge. We don't go out that way. Let the trees have him.
Yep. He heard and he saw that. Hair game, yeah. You know, Nor, I could not stand Eugene. Could not stand Eugene when I first watched The Walking Dead. I was just like, oh, why do they keep this character around? But now, he's so different. He's so funny. He's so unique that he does add not just comedy relief, but he's a coward. He is who he is. You know, Eugene is Eugene, and I appreciate him this go round. I know he's his dad, but he was so bad on him and his brother and mother. What did he expect? Exactly. But you know, that's the thing with kids and their parents. No matter how poorly the parents treat the kids want that unconditional love from the parents, so they excuse a lot from the parent, and it's his parent no matter what. He wouldn't want him to die. And seeing the man that killed your father taking him out to dump him, I can see the resentment building against Rick. I understand it. Yes, he was not a good father and he was abusive, but children want love from their parents. They want their parents, regardless of how horrible, they want their parent to be around and to be their parent. There's always this hope, and sometimes it's not realistic, but it doesn't stop them feeling how they feel towards the parent. Yeah, I didn't like him, but I appreciate him as a character now. Not that I'm gung-ho and love the decisions he makes and love his cowardice and all of that. I think I just appreciate him more as a writer. I like the intricacies about the character that he offers a different flavor. He adds a different flavor as a character to the show. And I think I appreciate him more as a character. Not that I love the character, but I appreciate the character and the dynamics of the character amongst the other characters and what he adds to the show. That quirky ridiculousness and I would say some comic relief.
I shot him because he killed Reg. That was it. We didn't have a choice.
You do have a cell.
Not for killers.
I'm a killer, Rick.
Hmm.
I am, and you are too.
Rick says he killed him because he killed Red. So Morgan said, you have a cell, you know? And Rick says, not for killers. And Morgan said, but I'm a killer. You're a killer. Rick didn't like hearing that. You've killed people. Do you belong in a cell? Oh, is a protein bar scene coming up? Okay, let me see.
Glenn, you there yet?
Almost. We'll have a handover before they get here. We'll meet your yellow.
Copy that. It'll hold.
Well, that's good. You know, considering where we're standing.
You see that, Nor? Look at Rick's and Michonne's body language. They're literally mirroring each other. Let me start over. Let me go back. Hold on. Look at them. They hold their weapons at the same time. They have one leg back.
Well, that's good. You know, considering where we're standing.
Look, they same stance.
Michonne,
Yeah?
back when you were in that place where I live, did you take one of my protein bars?
She wants to laugh. She wants to laugh.
No.
See, I could have sworn there was one more peanut butter left.
That's how it is, isn't it? You always think there's one more peanut butter left.
That scene too, when Morgan said, Michonne, you see Rick, if his ears could pop out, it would. Rick was like, what? Why is Morgan talking to Michonne? What does he want? What does he say? You can see his whole body listening to their conversation. Mind your business, Rick. Mind your own business. Oh my God. Yes. When she lied, but look at it before she lied. He's like, Morgan is talking to Michonne. Why is Rick into their conversation? Look at him. Morgan said Michonne. He didn't say Rick. He's like totally eavesdropping. Yeah, this is so funny.
Where I live. Did you take...
Nor, what if Morgan had said, Michonne, would you like to have a cup of coffee with me later? What would Rick have done? What would Rick have done, Nor? Morgan would become enemy number one. He would tell Morgan he has to leave. He has to leave Alexandria. You're not welcome here anymore. Oh my gosh. See? It's not fair. They should have had someone try to talk to Michonne because just to see what Rick would do. Because it's not fair that everybody, all the women in Rick's group, had somebody try to get their attention. But Michonne, they kept her so isolated. They put her in a bottle and it's like she's preserved. They put her in a bottle and put her aside preserved for Rick. I was like, come on, that's so unrealistic. Yeah, Rick would have told Morgan, get out. You can't stay in Alexandria. Ron is following them.
Morgan, maybe we just leave him here.
That's not who you are. I know.
Hey, you don't.
He's telling Morgan, you don't know me anymore, Morgan. I've changed.
Morgan.
I see it now, Nor. I see it. I hear the walkers and he's calling to Morgan to say, do you hear that? Okay, now I see where they come across the board. Okay. You see, it's because of how they told the story. They were jumping all over the place. So I was like, what's going on? How did this come about? So now we're getting into it. Okay.
Stop. Did you hear that?
Wow, that's a lot. So Daryl is trying to lead them away. Do you think those walkers were put there by the W people? That was a really good jump by Rick. Saved that silly kid's life because he was going to go right over if Rick didn't save him. So do you think the W people were the ones that put the horde there, Nor?
What are you doing out here, Ron? I wanted to know where my dad was buried. This is how. You know what? The community's still here. They've had walkers at their walls, but a lot of them, maybe most of them, they wound up here.
Oh, what Rick is saying makes sense. He said that's how the community stayed safe because most of the walkers ended up in the pit because people didn't encounter a lot of them because most of them were there. But you know what I would do? You know how I would get rid of them, Nor? How would you get rid of them? They should just burn them up.
Out here, you can't protect yourself. I'll show you how, but right now you have no idea what you're doing. And if you come out here, you're gonna die. And it won't be quick, and it won't ever be over, because you'll be one of them. That's what's gonna happen. You're coming back with us now. Don't make it hard.
They should just burn them up. Since they're contained, right? Burn them up, let them too brittle to go and attack anywhere. And just keep water, a hose in the front of Alexander. If any of them with fire comes, just hose them down. They're having a meeting. Hold on, let me see what they're talking about. I missed it.
One of those first scouts, finding out what was around here. There was a camp at the bottom. The people that must have blocked the exits with one of those trucks back when everything started to go bad. They didn't make it. They were all Romans. Maybe a dozen of them.
No one's been back since?
DC, every time we're scavenging, they're all in the other direction. And I never really felt like having a picnic next to the camp that ate itself.
So all the while the walkers have been drawn by the sound. They're making more sound and they're drawing more in.
And here we are. Now what I'm proposing, I know it sounds risky, but walkers are already slipping through the exits. One of the trucks keeping the walkers in could go off the edge any day now. Maybe after one more hard rain. That exit sends them east. All of them. Right at us.
Nor, do you notice who is standing behind Michonne? And standing behind Michonne, she looks invisible. And you notice who is not even paying attention to her. I made a statement, anytime Michonne is around, there's no focus. His ghosts are not prominent in his mind. And so, because his ghosts are not prominent in his mind, Jesse is out of mind. It's like out of sight, out of mind. Well, Jesse is in the room, yet she's not his focus because Michonne is in the room and Michonne is in front of her. Beside Rick in this very important meeting, updating the town on the huge danger. It's very symbolic that in the room with Michonne, which doesn't occur a lot, my lady Jessie fades into the background. She's there, but she's not Rick's focus, even though Rick is focused on the task at hand. But Michonne is very prominent, and it's like she is his partner in addressing the town. She is who is preeminent in the room with him. I made this statement before, and it still holds. When Michonne is around, his focus is not on his ghost, and out of sight, out of mind.
They're already slipping through the exits. One of the trucks keeping the walkers in could go off the edge any day now. Maybe after one more hard rain. That exit sends them east. All of them.
So all the while the walkers have been drawn by the sound. They're making more sound and they're drawing more in.
And here we are. This isn't about if it gives, it's when. It's gonna happen. That's why we have to do this soon.
I don't even have another word for it. This is terrifying. But it doesn't sound like there's any other way.
Maybe there is. Couldn't we just build up the weak spots? I could draw up plans. I worked on the wall with Reg, construction crew. We can try and make it safe.
Even if we could, the sound of those walkers is drawing more and more every day. Building up the exits won't change that.
We're gonna do what Rick says, plan he's laid out.
I told you all, we're gonna have Daryl leading them away.
Me too. Take a car right next to him. Can't just be him. I'll keep him coming. Daryl keeps him from getting sloppy.
I'll go with her. It's a long way to white knuckle with solo.
We'll have two teams to help manage this thing. We're gonna have a few people on watch from now on. Rosita, Spencer, and Holly. So they're out. Who's in?
Me. That's not the only reason.
Yeah, it isn't.
Okay.
I'm in.
I'd like to help as well.
No. Who else? We need more.
Gabriel said, I'd like to help. Rick is like, nope. Who else? Yes, it's like saying Michonne comes first. Abraham wants to go with Sasha so much. Yes, I was like, give Sasha some room. Keeps bugging her. Rick to Gabriel, no. Anyone? Yep, that was hilarious. It's like saying Michonne comes first. Yeah, she's his partner. She's his partner. And they're doing this. She's up front with him. My lady's literally, she's there, but she's invisible. I was like, who is that behind Michonne? She looks so insignificant around Michonne. After her husband died, people thought Rick killed Pete to get to her. He didn't kill Pete to get to her. If that was the case, he would have immediately gone to be with her, because she did make an agreement with Rick. If I give you permission to take Pete out, you have to be with me. And Rick reluctantly agreed to it. So this is another instance to show you that his motivation to get rid of Pete was never about Jesse or getting Jesse. His motivation for getting rid of Pete was about getting rid of a threat that he became aware of because of Jesse being the avatar for Lori. So he gets to do over that. Remember, we're talking about that circular vortex that Morgan was in, and now Rick is in that vortex trying to do over the past to change the outcome. Well, he had glommed on to Jesse as an avatar for Lori, and with Jesse came a threat, and he got to do that over. So his motivation was getting rid of the threat. It wasn't about getting with Jesse. And as I showed you from his introduction to Jesse and all of that, if you watched it closely, people were watching on the surface and said, oh, look, he and this lady, they're attracted to each other. She was after him. Rick was not into Jesse at all. Depression, just look at his expression. Depression, being spaced out, the association of her with the normality of the life he had before with Lori, using her as a substitute for Lori. So it was just a lot of weirdness. It was not, I didn't see attraction. I didn't even see lust. I just saw a weird obsession, and that obsession had to do with Lori. Then him getting to reenact and take out that threat. So he got rid of the threat. He's all about his paranoia again about the safety of Alexandria. So he didn't make a beeline for her. He didn't. He made an agreement with her because she forced it out of him, because she wouldn't allow him to do what mattered most to him, which was to take out a threat in the terms of getting to redo his past. So he got what he wanted, but she would not give him what he wanted unless he agreed to be with her. The husband is dead. Why isn't he running to her and instigating anything yet? Because that was not his motivation. That was never his motivation. Yes, he'll get around to that because he gave his word to her that he would be with her, because that's who Jesse is. Jesse is a Lori. Jesse is a Andrea. These type of women, narcissistic women, they're entitled and like to be the center of attention. So she wasn't going to give up a husband without a replacement. So she was from the very beginning after Rick. She said, well, if you're going to get rid of my husband, you got to be with me. Rick isn't about that right now. Rick is about his paranoia, as he told Michonne, feeling like he's still trapped in the boxcar from Terminus, the A. Jesse's son even stamped him with that A. So he's all about that. And then here in the room, here's another indication that Rick was not after Jesse or into Jesse. They're in a room discussing, whatever. If Jesse was his woman, she would be the one standing by him. He would be bouncing things off her. She would be prominent in front with him in the meeting. There is nowhere Rick goes when Rick and Michonne were a couple where Rick did not have Michonne by him, or if they're making any decisions where he was not using her as a soundboard or listening to her or having her give her opinion. If Jessie was his woman, she would be prominent with him in that room partnering with him. That's not what's happening. The woman that is prominent in the room up front partnering with him, informing these townspeople, is Michonne. Remember how I discussed how no one in the group knew of Jesse and Rick? No one in the group. The only person that knew was Carol, and because Carol was trying to push Rick towards Jesse because she wanted Rick away from Michonne because Michonne had too much influence over Rick. No one at any point, none of his group, none of his family, his extended family, ever once thought that Jessie was Rick's woman, because Rick never publicly claimed Jessie. Never. He never introduced her. He never behaved with her as if she was his woman in front of the others. When Rick gives into Jesse, he's gonna do it in the dark, on the low, where nobody knows, because he did not really want this woman. And you're gonna see the difference when he gets with Michonne. He immediately, when he's with his group, he literally claimed her in front of them. They knew right away, this is my woman, because that's what Rick wanted. Rick wanted Michonne. So he got her. He's gonna let everybody know that's his woman. Right? So here in this meeting, Jesse's not his woman, and nobody ever thought she was his woman because Rick doesn't behave like she's his woman. Because really in here, she's not his woman. In here and in here, she's not his woman. He's going to do what is expected of him in regards to her, that agreement they made. Would you do this for anybody else? That's what she was asking. Will you be my man if I allow you to get rid of Pete? And Rick was like, oh, he didn't immediately answer her. He got very shifty. He looked away because he didn't want that. But he was desperate to get rid of Pete. He was desperate to get rid of the threat. He was desperate to do his do-over, to protect Lori. He was so desperate, he gave in to Jesse. He gave in to a woman that he did not want. He told a woman that he did not want that, yeah, he'll be with her. It was very reluctant. This little tableau, this little scene, just again reiterated and reaffirmed what I've been saying about this situation and about this coupling. And remember, I talked about how the writers moved Michonne like a chess piece off the board so that they could play out the scenario with Rick. But here's one instance where they couldn't remove her from the board, and in that scenario on the board, the queen was put by the king because she's his partner, not just as a constable, but she is his partner in everything.
There's got to be another play. We can't just control that many.
I said it before. Walkers herd up. They'll follow a path if something's drawing them. That's how we can get them all at once.
So what? We're supposed to just take your word for it. We're all supposed to just fall in line behind you after...
After what?
After you wave a gun around, screaming, pointing it at people. After you shoot a man in the face. After you...
Enough.
I'll do it.
Me too.
Whatever you need. I'm in.
Now who else?
Glennon said, nope, don't, no.
We have to do this. I need to help.
Glennon's like, not you, don't.
Sure you can handle it? Man, you just said it.
Nor said she was hitting on him first, used him to save her from Pete. Yep. Hi, Rashida. Yay, Rashida's in the house. Rashida's in the house. Thanks for joining us, Rashida. We were looking for a gang. Our group is here. Nor said first scene between them, she's playing with his hair and asking him if he has a wife or not. Yep. She liked how powerful this man is and saw that he's the only one in Alexandria that can take down Pete. Yes, Nor, you clocked it. What are the balloons for? Rashida or Nor, can you tell me why did they lead the horde to the gate? Why didn't they go in the opposite direction? And then the balloons are there and then they're shooting up the flares in the air. I don't understand it. Wouldn't that draw the horde to Alexandria? That makes no sense to me. I don't know.
Block it off so they can only go one way, west, away from the community.
Block it off. What?
Cars. Use the RVs, some of the bigger trucks, park them in the end.
They'll be drawing them away. They're gonna keep moving.
Got many? bouncing off some stands. And then when they start slipping through, and the ones that walk away start distracting the rest, and you stop drawing them away.
He's got a plan.
We got plates. Big ass metal ones from the construction site. We could use them to fortify the whip wall. It'd help disperse the force of impact and direct the walkers clean, like a pool table, 8-ball corner pocket.
That's an army out there. And what happens when this doesn't hold? They push them through the curve in this hillside. It's going to send them right back east, right back here. You seriously want to risk that? So you need to help us to make it hold.
These walls you build, so you've already done the impossible.
Yeah, but the noise is behind the walls. They were already following the bike, Daryl. I would think the flares behind the wall would distract them away from Daryl towards the wall. That doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, they explained it, but it's what I'm seeing doesn't make sense. In essence, what they're doing behind the wall, shooting up into the air, distracting them away from Daryl. Okay, I saw some of them look away towards the flare. So the ones in the front would follow Daryl, but the ones behind wouldn't see Daryl. They would just follow the others. So the flare, the ones that would come towards the fence are looking away towards the flare. Okay, so that makes sense, but I think they should have just burnt the horde down in the throw grenades down and bombed and burnt them up. It's what they're doing. It's too risky. Okay, let me see.
What you said before about us needing to take care of ourselves, going out finding more people. I just taking care of ourselves.
You should stay back. Get a feel for how people feel now. Still got a long way to go with it.
We'll get there. She's in charge. You're in charge now.
You know what? I just realized that this episode is being done in black and white. Why were they trying to get so fancy with this episode? Season 6 was a mess. They experimented too much. They didn't trust the narrative. They didn't trust the character-driven storytelling that was the hallmark of The Walking Dead. They tried to use shock values. They tried to use twists and surprises instead of making the story and the characters just flow organically. And that's why season 6 is just a mess. Who directed this? I wouldn't be surprised if it's Greg Nicotero that directed this episode. They don't have enough weapons to take that many walkers, and they bombed them in the hole that would have attracted more walkers from afar. The before is black and white, and the now is in color. Okay, thanks, Nor. I was trying to remember if there was color, but I didn't want to rewind. I didn't like the black and white and the color either. I thought it was dumb. Yeah, they're trying to get stylistic and whatever. It's simple, straightforward storytelling. You can never beat that.
We lured Glenn into the woods and tried to kill him. Yeah. What? Glenn told me I could tell everyone if that's what I wanted to do. We could get Nicholas exiled. He'd die out there. Could have done that. We could do that now.
He got Noah killed and he tried to kill Glenn.
Glenn saves people. Yeah, people like that.
Glenn is such a sweetheart.
But then I thought about you, how we were on different sides of that fence on the worst day of my life. And now you're one of the most important people in the world to me. Things can get better.